Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Many people have been asking, what should Zimbabweans do about this ED 2030 agenda? The short answer to that one is do nothing. The party has not said how they are going to push through this ED 2030. And therefore, then it will be premature to try to pretend that we can do something to counter it. I know some people have said the constitution does not allow it and will challenge them. You can only start challenging them once they have come up with how they were going to do it. If, for instance, they were to say Parliament and the Senate will vote a bill that will say the presidential elections will be postponed to 2030, Zanu-PF has got 2/3 majority in both Parliament and the Senate, and so that will pass. Then you can challenge it on the basis of the Constitution, what the Constitution says. But until they've said that, there's really nothing else we can do. And that is the honest answer to that one. Ben, what do you think?
Good day to you and good day to our viewers. Thank you for joining us. I do agree with you. I mean, the first move has to come from Zanu PF. Right now, I'm just simply saying, or I'm suggesting, you know, I haven't made that first move so that I can counter it or try and figure out, your play exactly. So right now, the best position is no position at all, and I agree with you.
Well, the other thing that people must remember here is that it will not be the first time that ZANU-PF has thrown something to the people to draw their attention away from the real big issue. An example of this was 2018, for the 2018 elections. ZANU-PF made a big song and dance about changing the voting system, how people were going to be registered using the camera and biological identities and so forth. And they even went to the extent of buying equipment to enable that. And there was a lot of debate on the equipment, how it's being deployed, etc., etc. And yet, when the election day came in 2018, the equipment was not even used. The party reverted back to the hard copy voters' roll. And even the opposition didn't even raise that issue. So all that attention for all those months leading to the 2018 elections was to draw attention away from the fact that we should have been looking at the voters' roll and saying, do we have a clean voters' roll? And we didn't. And so we lost the plot. This could be another trick by ZANU-PF to draw attention away from the fact that Mnangagwa rigged the 2023 elections. He has not implemented even one token reform between now and 2028. And so 2028 is going to be a repeat of the rigged elections. And that's what we should be concentrating on. And I think we should be looking at no reforms have been implemented. What then? That is, to me, the more important question. Ben.
We have been warned that we cannot continue participating in rigged elections without fixing, you know, our institutions that need to be fixed to make them independent. You know, I always talk about Dr. Mumba, who says that fight should be now. And you are very right. And I've always said that, we're having so many side shows and people are focused in different directions. There's nobody really that is calling, to say, we had a problem with our elections, both 2018 and 2023. You know, we need to fix a broken system. Nobody is making that effort. We are talking that we want to stop 2030. We want our elections in 2028. But the question now, to somebody that thinks ahead is, hold on a minute. We want elections in 2028, but what makes us so sure that those elections are going to be free, fair, and credible when we have not yet addressed not even one problem of the many suggestions that we have been given? You see, and I'm very worried for Zimbabweans that we are getting too focused on the secondary issue and forgetting the primary issue, which is rigged elections. And that needs to be fixed and addressed now.
The other point here of this ED 2030 being a ploy is that Mnangagwa himself he said, I'm a constitutionalist and I not want to change the constitution. If a few months before the 2028 elections, he was to confirm that indeed he wasn't going to try to change the law, people will applaud him for being honest. I said I was a constitutionalist. I wasn't going to contest and change the constitution, etc., etc. And people will think, yes, no, you did the right thing there. And by then, when they turn around to the 2028 elections and what is wrong with them, it's too late. And Mnangagwa himself would have earned himself a number of brownie points for saying I'm not contesting. And yet the main problem here, to be quite honest, is the question of ending this Zanu PF dictatorship. That is the main point here. Stopping Mnangagwa staying in power for another 2 years is of little benefit if at the end of the day we still get a Zanu PF dictator anyway. The prospects of either Chiwenga or Kudakwashita Gwirei as the next president, 28 onwards, is frightening. We know Chiwenga was involved in all the Zanu PF thuggery in the past, notably the 2008 electoral coup, and then the 2017 military coup itself. He is now hotting up against the Sgananda only because they are no longer spoiling him with gifts. Up to now, they were spoiling him. It's on record that Chiwenga has been receiving cars from the likes of Takwire and Chifayo. And now he wants to pretend, oh no, these are evil people. We should not be so easily conned by these people. Stopping Mnangagwa, continuing his rule beyond 2028 is an achievement. But that achievement is nothing if all we get at the end of the day is another Zanu-PF dictator. So my final word on this ED 2030 agenda is, at the present moment, forget it. Concentrate on what is at stake here. 2028, Zanu-PF will rig those elections because no meaningful reforms have been implemented. And so the main task should be, what is going to be the people's response in 2028 if we go there and no meaningful reforms have been implemented? In that position, I will restate, do not participate in flawed elections, because all you'll be doing is perpetuate the dictatorship. That is my message to the people of Zimbabwe today. Thank you very much. Ben, do you want to give your closing remarks?
In closing, I would want to say, the fight for, stopping ED 2030, and we want elections 2028, it makes no difference, especially when we have, a political system that is rotten to the core. Whatever, I look at it to say, whatever the outcome, be it we stop 2030 and we get elections in 2028, ZANU-PF is just going to rig those elections anyway, because we have not fixed our problem, and we all know our problem. And I agree when you say, and this is very important, participating in rigged elections, we have been warned numerous times. Don't participate in rigged elections only to cry tomorrow or to cry after. There's no turning back. In Shona, they say, the fight for reforms, the fight to fix a broken system should be our focus today and not these sideshows. Because whatever outcome comes, we will still get burnt or we still get bitten. Let's take our responsibility head on. Fix a broken system. So I say, if there are no reforms, there should be no elections at all. Thank you.
Well, just to clarify a point there, it is important to understand that no meaningful reforms can now be implemented between now and 2028. So we can say with certainty that no meaningful reforms will be implemented up to the 2028 elections. The only thing is to make sure that we do not participate in flawed elections to perpetuate the dictatorship. The challenge is persuading those so-called Chamisa Chete Chete brigade members. Because make no mistake about it, they will be easily conned to participate yet again. And if they do, we give ZANU-PF legitimacy. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.